The Galactic Empire had conquered 1,000 star systems. Its fleets stretched across the galaxy like a black tide. Its admirals were legends. Its weapons were unmatched. Its arrogance unchallenged. Until now, reports had reached Imperial High Command. A human fleet had repelled the Zelvian armada, destroyed orbital stations, and crippled advanced alien dreadnoughts, all while suffering minimal losses. High Admiral Tarkon leaned back in his chair, mandibles clacking softly. "Humans," he hissed. "The species rumored to be extinct?" "Not extinct," replied his aide. "Active. And lethal. Entire fleets have vanished before them." Tarkin's ridged brow furrowed. "Impossible. Every species we've encountered bends beneath us. Every fleet, every world, submit. How can a species so primitive resist?" The aide swallowed. "We do not know, sir. But they are expanding, striking beyond their sector. Their technology, it defies comprehension." Tarkin's mandibles clicked with irritation. "Then we shall test them. Send the Obsidian Armada. Full complement. Make them submit or burn their homeworld. Humanity will learn its place." The fleet moves. Across the stars, the Obsidian Armada assembled. Hundreds of massive warships, each the size of a small moon, bristling with ion cannons, plasma arrays, and quantum torpedoes. Thousands of smaller strike vessels flanked the flagship Imperator Rex, a vessel capable of annihilating a planet with a single volley. Imperial officers prepared battle reports. Target coordinates. Tactical projections. None of it mattered, because the humans were already watching. Human calm. On the bridge of the TSF Sentinel, human officers sipped their nutrient rations. The warship's sleek black hull reflected starlight like a blade. Sensors had already detected the approaching Imperial fleet. Lieutenant Commander Arya Voss leaned over the holographic map. "Looks like the Empire wants a lesson," she said, voice calm, almost amused. Captain Jonas Cade smiled. "Good. Let's give them one." The humans did not panic. They did not scramble. They did not hide. They simply prepared to teach the galaxy a lesson it would never forget. The first signal. The Obsidian Armada entered human-controlled space. Imperial sensors pinged the Sentinel. A small text transmission blinked across their comms. "Welcome. Please maintain a safe distance. Humanity is watching." Tarkon snarled. "Is this a bluff? Their threat level is unknown. Target them." But his officers hesitated. Something in the transmission, something about the tone, unnerved them. Arya Voss watched the blips of the Imperial fleet approach. She leaned back, fingers steepled. "They don't know what's coming," she said. "Let them make their first mistake." And as the Imperial Armada advanced, the humans smiled. Because they had already won. The Obsidian Armada hung in the void, its ships sleek, angular, and utterly silent. Hundreds of Imperial vessels advanced in formation, weapons armed, shields charged. Their confidence was absolute, until they entered human space. The Empire strikes first. High Admiral Tarkon ordered his fleet forward. Target their lead ship. Fire at will. Show them the might of the Galactic Empire. Energy beams lanced through space, plasma bolts streaking like deadly comets toward the TSF Sentinel. But the human flagship didn't flinch. Its shields, invisible to Imperial sensors, absorbed every strike without a flicker. Missiles dissolved mid-flight. Laser streams bent and fragmented against the hull, as if reality itself rejected them. "Impossible!" shouted a commander. "Every weapon, absorbed." Tarkon slammed a claw onto the console. "Raise the next salvo. They cannot survive this. The Empire learns humanity is different." The humans didn't attack, not yet. They moved like chess masters, predicting every Imperial maneuver before it happened. Fleets scattered, only to be lured into perfect firing arcs. The TSF Sentinel fired a single pulse. Not a massive barrage, just a thin, almost invisible beam. It cut through 3 Imperial cruisers in an instant, bisecting them cleanly. No explosions. No fire. Just two halves of a ship floating silently in space. The bridge of the Imperator Rex went silent. Officers stared at the feed, unable to comprehend the physics they were witnessing. Imperial panic. Sir, their ships, they are. Tarkin's mandibles clicked nervously. They are doing what? They're evading every attack. They're countermeasures. Stop talking. Tarkin roared. Fire everything. The humans smiled through comms. Not literally, they didn't need to. A single text blinked across the Imperial screens. We hope you're enjoying the lesson. A fleet crumbles. Within minutes, the Empire's attack fleet was in chaos. Smaller escort ships collided in panic. Missile volleys failed. Energy cannons overloaded and shut down. The humans didn't chase. They didn't need to. The Empire was destroying itself, guided by human strategy, every movement orchestrated to perfection. The human flagship emerges. The TSF Sentinel moved into formation with the Obsidian Armada's flank. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't defensive. It was a statement. Even Imperial sensors couldn't fully capture the ship's form. Sleek, black, angular, with subtle ripples of energy crawling across the hull like living veins. High Admiral Tarkin swallowed hard. They are not like any species we have ever encountered. A small comm ping buzzed. The message scrolled. Your arrogance is noted. Please stop underestimating humans. For the first time in millennia, the Galactic Empire felt fear. The Imperial fleet hovered in disbelief. Their weapons had no effect. Their formations collapsed under the precision of the humans. And now, the humans chose to strike. The counterattack begins. From the TSF Sentinel, a pulse surged outward, a wave of gravitational distortion. Imperial cruisers shuddered violently. Energy conduits overloaded. Hull plating buckled as their ships were tossed like toys in invisible current. No. This is impossible, bellowed Commander Valric. Sir, our ships, we can't maintain formation. The humans didn't fire weapons in the conventional sense. They didn't need to. The fleet itself became a weapon. Every movement, every pulse, every subtle shift of the human ships controlled the battlefield. Impossible maneuvers. The human fleet executed rotations and jumps so precise they telegraphed no pattern at all, yet each Imperial ship ended up exactly where humanity wanted. Missiles intercepted before launch. Beam weapons deflected by shields that seemed to anticipate every attack. High Admiral Tarkin's voice trembled. They know our movements before we even make them. A holographic ping appeared on the Imperial main screen. We calculate your arrogance at 97.3%. Recommended adjustment. Humility. Laughter, though digital and impersonal, echoed in the minds of Imperial officers. The black flagship, the TSF Sentinel pivoted, its hull shimmering with nanofluidic patterns. From the hull, nanoswarm drones erupted, thousands of them, invisible until impact. They dismantled armor, weapons, and engines without harming the ship itself. Imperial ships exploded silently, torn apart at a molecular level. Those that remained attempted to flee, but humans anticipated every vector. Another message appeared. Retreat is permissible. Resistance is ill-advised. The Empire begins to fear. On the bridge of the Imperator Rex, officers were pale. Their entire doctrine, centuries of strategy, and all known technology had failed. Tarkin's claws shook as he gripped the console. They are not just superior, they are unkillable. A communications officer whispered. They fight differently, not to destroy but to teach a lesson. The humans were not merely defending, they were demonstrating the consequences of hubris. A single human message. Then the humans sent one final transmission before disengaging for the moment. Your fleet is intact. Your pride is not. Consider this a courtesy. With that, the human ships vanished into the void, leaving the Empire to reckon with their first defeat without a battle in over 1,000 years. The galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again. The Imperial fleet had regrouped, or tried to. Their ships were battered, their morale shattered, and their pride in ruins. And yet, they had underestimated one immutable truth about humanity. Humans did not fight for fear. They fought to win. The fleet reveals its full strength. From the darkness of space, human reinforcements arrived. Hundreds of sleek, black vessels emerged, moving like a single organism. They were faster, more precise, and far more lethal than any ship in the Galactic Empire. Each human vessel projected an aura of calm assurance, a quiet promise that resistance was futile. High Admiral Tarkin's voice broke as he observed the formations. They've brought everything. A holographic display blinked messages in stark white letters. We didn't come here to negotiate. We came to show you what humanity does to those who underestimate it. The Empire strikes and fails again. The Imperator Rex fired everything it had: plasma arrays, torpedoes, graviton lances. The human fleet didn't dodge. They controlled the outcome. Missiles folded in midair, beams bent around the ships, and Imperial cruisers were shredded by invisible forces before they could even react. "Sir, they're manipulating gravity," shouted an officer. "No, not just gravity," Tarkin whispered. "Space itself bends at their command." The humans weren't merely attacking, they were demonstrating a superiority so complete it defied comprehension. A holographic message of mockery. From the flagship, a calm voice resonated across Imperial comms. "You pride yourselves on dominance. We pride ourselves on inevitability. Retreat is the only wise choice." The message was polite and terrifying, because it wasn't a threat, it was a statement of fact. Imperial panic spreads. Fleet officers scrambled to form new lines, but it was too late. The human ships anticipated every move, flanking, cutting supply lines, and neutralizing command vessels in seconds. Imperial dreadnoughts were now helpless statues in the void, destroyed without a single human ship taking a scratch. Tarkin slammed his claws on the console. How do they do this?" A communications officer whispered, voice trembling. "Sir, they're not fighting to win. They're fighting to demonstrate. To show us the consequences of arrogance." The Admiral realized, too late, that humans did not follow the same rules as any other species. They wrote their own rules. Humanity's final display. The human fleet formed a perfect arc around the Imperial Armada. A single human ship, the TSF Sentinel, rose above the rest, its hull gleaming like a dagger in the starlight. Another message appeared on Imperial screens. Lesson concluded. Consider your next move carefully. Humanity watches. The humans did not fire again. They did not need to. The Imperial fleet withdrew in terror, leaving humanity victorious without shedding a drop of blood. The galaxy would remember this moment. Humans had taught the Galactic Empire a lesson it would never forget. The Imperial fleet had retreated. Scattered. Humiliated. Broken in morale. Yet High Admiral Tarkin lingered on the bridge of the Imperator Rex, staring at the fading blips of human ships. "They didn't just defeat us," he whispered. "They didn't even need to fight." Humanity's true message. From the void, the TSF Sentinel transmitted one final message. "We do not seek war. We do not negotiate with weakness. But we will demonstrate the consequences of arrogance. Let this be remembered. No prideful boast, no empty threat, just calm certainty, a force the galaxy had never seen." Tarkin felt a cold dread settle over him. They don't just fight. They exist on a higher scale of strategy and power. The fleet vanishes. The human ships folded space, vanishing silently into hyperspace. The Imperial sensors went blank. No trace remained, no signature, no weapon fire, no debris. The galaxy would never know exactly what had happened. But every officer who survived knew one thing. Humans were untouchable. A new galactic reality. Across the Empire, reports spread. Fleets destroyed without engagement, warships neutralized without battle, an entire species that could manipulate space, gravity, and reality itself with terrifying precision. The Galactic Empire had always believed it was unstoppable. Now it understood the truth. Humanity cannot be underestimated. Humanity cannot be intimidated. Humanity does not fight because it must, it fights because it can. Epilogue: The Legend of Humanity. Centuries would pass. The Empire would rebuild. Other species would rise and fall. But the memory of the day humanity laughed at the Galactic Empire would endure. Across the stars, whispered in fear and awe, "Do not test the humans, or you will learn the cost of arrogance." And humanity? They returned to their homeworld, calm, silent, watching, not as conquerors, not as heroes, but as the species that showed the galaxy its place, and made it remember forever.